All right, welcome to our next video here. The objective is that students will be able to solve equations with a variable on both sides of the equation. So we've been focusing on the variables only on one side. That is not always true in mathematics. Sometimes we have a variable on both sides. And so we have a couple of examples here to really show here. So the first thing is we want to make sure both sides are simplified all the way so that there are no more like terms to combine. There is no distribution to do. And that's going to be true in all of these examples in this video. And then we'll get into the more complicated stuff where we have to simplify first in the next video. So let's look at this first question here. 4x plus 5 equals 10x minus 7. What we have to do is we have to get it so that there is only a variable on one side of the equation. I prefer to work with positive numbers. And if you prefer to work with positive numbers, then you should always get rid of the smaller variable term. All right. This, you can get the right answer no matter which one you choose. I prefer to find the smaller one. And so I have a 4x and a 10x on the other side. I'm going to get rid of the 4x so that I'm working with positives. You could get rid of the 10x and get the exact same answer. I want that to be clear. So how do I get rid of a positive 4x and get rid of this so that there's only a variable on this side? Well, to do that, I need to subtract 4x. The opposite of a positive 4x is a negative 4x, right? So I subtract 4x here. I'll draw the line. From this side, I must also subtract 4x from the other side. But you have to line up the like terms. So I want to be very clear that you need to subtract from the like term. I can't subtract this negative 4x from negative 7. These are not like terms, right? This is a constant. This has a variable. Like terms have the exact same variable. And so these, let me switch colors. These cancel out. The only thing left on this side is a 5. On this side, I have 10 minus 4x. 10 minus 4x is 6x. And I didn't use this negative 7, negative 7. Okay. Well, there it is. It's a two-step equation. Like I said on the first video, all right? Our goal is to turn everything into a two-step equation and be good at two-step equations. Now I just need to get this variable, this x by itself. To do that, I need to get rid of this constant of minus 7. So to get rid of a minus 7, I add 7 to both sides. These cancel. The only thing left on this side is 6x. On this side, I have 5 plus 7 is 12. We have 12 equals 6x. Now we have a one-step equation. This is a coefficient, a number next to a variable. It represents multiplication. To get rid of multiplication, I must do the opposite of multiplication, which is division. These cancel. X equals 12 divided by 6, which is 2. X equals 2. All right. And so there's only one step in these simple questions to make it a two-step equation. So really, this is a three-step equation, I guess, right? So let's look at the other one together because you might not have perfected it yet. All right, so we have 9v minus 8 equals 3v plus 22. I need to get rid of either this 3v or this 9v. It doesn't matter which one I get rid of. I'll still get the same answer if my steps are correct. But I want to get rid of the smaller one personally so that I work with positive numbers. So to get rid of this positive 3v, I'm going to subtract 3v on both sides of the equation. These cancel out. The only thing left on this side is this 22, so it can just come straight down. And on this side, notice that I always line up my variables. I'm not that organized. My room's a little bit messy, but my math has to be organized. So 9v minus 3v is 6v. I didn't use this minus 8. It comes straight down. We get 6v minus 8 equals 22. Now it's a two-step equation. Hopefully you've mastered two-step equations by now. To get rid of a minus 8, you add 8 to each side. These cancel. I get 6v equals 22 plus 8 is 30. The last step is to get rid of the coefficient. Coefficients mean multiplication. We get rid of multiplication. I divide each side by 6. These cancel, and we get v equals 30 divided by 6, which is 5. All right, so that is example 1. Let's clear this out. Now you've got 2 questions to do on UDO 1. So go ahead and pause the video and solve. Okay, now that you're done solving, hopefully both equations, then you're ready for me to go over these to UDO, so I'll go a little bit quicker. All right, so here on this equation, I have 2d plus 4 equals 5d plus 10. I want to get rid of this positive 2d right here. To get rid of a positive 2d, I do a negative 2d. Got to do it to both sides of the equation, and I'm going to line up the variables, line up the like terms, right? These cancel out. The only thing left on this side is 4. 5d minus 2d is 3d. And I didn't use this plus 10, so it comes straight down. Now, I have a 2-step equation, right? I got to get rid of the constant on the variable side. The constant is a positive 10. Remember, a constant is just a number without a variable. All right? These cancel out. 4 minus 10 is negative 6. The only thing left on this side is 3d. I drop it straight down. I have negative 6 equals 3d. Remember, this is coefficient right here, 3d. That means multiplication. So to get rid of multiplication, divide each side by 3. I get d equals negative 6 divided by 3 is negative 2. D is equal to negative 2. All right, hopefully you got that. If you didn't, go ahead, rewind if you don't understand. And let me do the next one. I'll do this one even quicker. I'm going to get rid of the 2y because I want variables on only one side. These cancel. On this side, I'm left with 28. On this side, 8y minus 2y is 6y. I have a positive 4 left over. And so now I've turned it into a 2-step equation. I'm going to subtract 4 from each side. These cancel. I get 6y equals 24. Divide each side by 6 to get rid of the coefficient. You get y is equal to 4. All right, so hopefully you got both of those correct. Let's move on to the second and final example, which is going to include some negative integers in it as well. All right, so I have 17 minus 2p equals 4p plus 5. Again, I need to make it so there's only variables on one side of the equation. So I need to get rid of either this negative 2p or this positive 4p. It does not matter which one I get rid of. I prefer to get rid of the smaller one so I can work with positive numbers. So what's smaller, negative 2p or positive 4p? Well, obviously that's negative 2p. So I'm going to add 2p to both sides. Again, notice how this is lined up. You have to line up the terms, the like terms. I can't do 5 plus 2p. Those are not like terms. All right, so now let's cancel these out. Only thing left on this side is 17. 4p plus 2p is 6p. Man, there's a lot of 6's in this. Plus 5 comes down. And now again, I have a 2-step equation. Yay. All right, so we have the variable on this side. I got to get rid of the constant. The constant is the number by itself, so that's a positive 5. The opposite of a positive 5 is a negative 5. I do it to both sides. I get 6p is the only thing left on this side, equals 12. The coefficient represents multiplication. To get rid of multiplication, I do division. Divide each side by 6, and we get p is equal to 2. All right, because 12 divided by 6 is 2. Okay, let's look at this next one. 8 minus 4s equals s plus 13. When I have a variable without a coefficient, this s has no coefficient, there's really an invisible 1 there. Okay, so that's really 1s. That's what this means, right? So if you want to put the 1 there, if that's helpful, that's fine. All right, so I need to get either this negative 4s or get rid of this positive 1s. I'm going to get rid of the smaller one, and negative 4 smaller than positive 1. To get rid of negative 4, I have to do a positive 4. And I'll do it to both sides, and I'll line up my variables. These cancel. Only thing left on this side is 8. 1s plus 4s is 5s. Plus 13, I didn't use it, comes down. All right, now I subtract 13 from both sides. Those cancel out. And I have 8 minus 13. 8 minus 13 is negative 5 equals 5s. And now I just got to get rid of coefficient. Coefficients mean multiplication, opposite of multiplication is division. I get s is equal to negative 5 divided by 5. Let's be good with our negative and positive. A negative divided by a positive is a negative, so I know my answer is negative. 5 divided by 5 is 1. And the final answer is that x equals negative 1. Let's clear these out and go to UDO 2. Okay. This is the chance for you to pause and solve. So go ahead, 3, 2, 1, pause and solve. All right, hopefully you just finished solving. I'm going to go through these pretty quick since hopefully you understand this by now. I have a 16 minus 2t equals 5t plus 9. I need to get either rid of this negative 2t or rid of this 5t. I prefer to get rid of the smaller one. To get rid of a negative 2t, I'm going to do the opposite, which is a positive 2t. Add 2t to both sides. Notice again, I line up the variables. 16 equals 5t plus 2t is 7t. And then I didn't use the plus 9, so it comes straight down. I'm going to switch to pink. Now I have a two-step equation. This should be basic by now. I want to get rid of the stuff on the variable side. My variable is t. My coefficient is 7. My constant is positive 9. I'm going to get rid of the constant first. Do the opposite. Subtract 9 from each side. 16 minus 9 is 7. I get 7 equals 7t. And how do I get rid of a coefficient? Coefficients mean multiplication. I'm saying that a lot. These cancel out. T is equal to, what's 7 divided by 7? 1. If I have 7 candies, I divide them among 7 kids. Each kid gets 1 full can. All right. Hopefully you got that correct. And now let's do this last one. I have 2 plus 6g equals 11 minus 3g. Again, it doesn't matter. Actually, just to show you that it doesn't matter which one I get rid of, you probably added 3g to both sides. That's correct. I'm going to get rid of this 6g right here, just to really make sure we have a conceptual understanding. Some of you may find this annoying, but I really want us to understand the concept here. I'm going to subtract 6g from each side. I only have to get rid of one of them. Trust me, you didn't do it wrong if you added 6g. If you added 3g to each side, you did not do it wrong. All right? You're going to get the same answer as me as long as your math is correct. These will cancel. I'm left with 2 equals. On this side, I have 11. Negative 3g minus 6g. That is negative 9g. Now I have a two-step equation. How do I get rid of this 11 right here? I need to get rid of that 11. Well, that's a positive 11. That's the constant. Subtract 11 from each side. I get negative 9 equals negative 9g. Divide each side by negative 9. G's cancel. I'm left with g equals negative 9 divided by negative 9. Anything divided by itself is 1. Right? A million divided by a million is 1. 1,000 divided by 1,001 is 1. Negative 9 divided by negative 9 is 1. Again, you got the same exact answer, even if you did it a little bit different. That's how math works.